Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. I'm actually going to be doing kind of like a what to expect for college video, which is not beauty related at all. But I just thought now that I'm halfway through college, I'd give you guys some of my best advice and like my experience for all of you kind of incoming freshmen or just anyone who wants to watch this video. So yeah, if you're interested to see what I have to say, then just keep watching. Okay, so for me, like when I first was thinking about going to college, I was in my senior year of high school, but I wasn't even really sure if I wanted to go because I lived in Texas. And like Texas is very business oriented. Everyone's like either in the oil industry or like in business management or like, you know, all those really boring but like good money making jobs. So I went to go tour UTSA, which is the University of Texas in San Antonio, and I was just like so not excited about it. Like I was bored just on the tour and like touring the marketing building, which is what I was thinking of going for. And I just was like so not into it. And I was really into fashion design in high school, but I never even really considered that being something I could go to school for. Like I just thought it was a hobby. So I was looking for other things, and I was really into hair and makeup at the time. So I was leaning towards cosmetology school actually. But then me and my family go on vacation in Hilton Head, which is a city close to Savannah. And we usually go to Savannah once a day, which is where my school is. And I just happened to like, my mom just threw it out there and she was like, well, while we're looking at colleges, you might as well take a tour here. And I was like, okay. So I did, and I ended up loving the school and I wanted to apply. But then I sat down with an advisor and she sat there and she was like, I don't know, you don't have a portfolio and you don't have the high enough, like, I don't meet the ideal criteria for the SAT score, and one other thing, what was it? Oh, it was like 2 days before the deadline. So I had like pretty much a very slim chance of getting in is what she was saying. But then I actually did have a portfolio made for a previous school that I applied for like scholarships and things like that. So I put that like into a Dropbox and into my application and got everything sorted out within those 2 days and was like hoping for the best. And it was a very, like, what do you call it? It was a very spontaneous decision, to say the least, but I ended up, like, 2 weeks later getting my acceptance letter and moving across the country to go to school, and it was really crazy. I lived in a dorm my first year, and yeah, it was just, we'll get more into it with these next couple, I have a few bullet points that I'm talking about, but that was basically my getting into college experience. So if you guys are kind of in the same position where like you're in your senior year and all your friends have their scholarships and they know exactly where they're going and all of those things, like don't feel like you have to have it all together, because I for sure didn't, and I turned out totally fine. So anyways, moving on. So one of the I really liked kind of being away from home, honestly. Not, my mom's gonna be sad when she hears that, but I've always lived with my mom, and it was really fun to kind of experience taking care of myself completely, because you know, you'll be around in your room and moms always do, like, you'll leave your coffee mug out in the morning before you head off to work, and then you come back and it's magically gone, and it's just like you start to notice all the things that your mom does for you that maybe you don't notice whenever you're at home. And so stuff like time management really got me. Like sometimes my mom makes me breakfast in the morning when I'm living at home, and then all of a sudden I was in college and I had 8 a.m.s and I was waking up at 7:30, and I was like, well crap, I don't have enough time to get ready and make breakfast, blah blah blah. So yeah, I definitely missed having my mom around. Like it was just, that was a big change, but I really did enjoy kind of learning how to like be more on my own in the dorm. So yeah. And another thing that helps with being away from home, I know some people like they only go to school a city over or something like that, but I was across the country. I was in Georgia, which is like, I don't even know how many miles, but I was not in Texas, that's for sure. And my mom just couldn't come and see me every weekend, so I definitely missed her. Me and my mom have like a total Lorelai and Rory situation going on. We're like super close, and I missed her a lot, but we actually watched that show together from separate states and would always call each other on the phone and talk about it, and it was just a fun way for us to connect while we were not together. And I always try to see her on holidays and stuff like that, and now I'm actually back living with my mom because she moved here for me to go to school. So that's being away from home. The next one, making friends. It was a challenge for me because, like, in high school, I really only had 1 or 2 close friends, and then that was pretty much it. Towards the end of my senior year, branched out a little bit and met a lot more people, but no more close friends. I really just had 2. And when I moved across the country, like, obviously I didn't know anyone here. Like, I didn't know anyone from my school that was going to my college. So I had to completely start over, and that was really nerve-wracking for me. Especially because I don't know, I'm not like a super awkward person, and I do make friends easily, but it's a bit weird when you're at a new school. Like, I guess I never really had to go up and introduce myself to a complete stranger before, and that was something I really had to get used to. And my best advice is just definitely go to, like, the club fairs that your school will probably have at the beginning of the year. That's where I met the first kind of set of friends that I had was at orientation, and when everyone was talking about, like, clubs that are available at my school. And I say my first set of friends because honestly, like, the friends you make at orientation probably aren't gonna last. I mean, unless you get really lucky. I know some people that have been, like, best friends all throughout college. But mine, just the more we got to know each other, the more, like, I realized we didn't have much in common, and they just weren't like my, we weren't on the same level, you know? Like, we just weren't vibing. So luckily, I actually ended up meeting my neighbors, which are my now best friends in my dorm. And they were just in my room one night actually talking to my roommate, and I met them, and we all clicked really well, and it worked out great because they lived right next door, and we would just pop over all the time and always go talk to each other and hang out and have movie nights, and we grew so close over freshman year, and we're still best friends today. So I got really lucky with that. But yeah, I think it's just important to put yourself out there and, like, join clubs that you're interested in and talk to people in your class. Honestly, that's the easiest way to make friends. So, I mean, I can't talk too in depth about dating in your college years because freshman year I, like, was not looking to date. Me and my still, like, current boyfriend were broken up at the time, and I just really was, like, wanting to be single and, like, figure out life and figure out what I wanted to do and, like, find myself. And I was, like, so just not even thinking about boys my freshman year. But I can speak on behalf of my friends and their experiences, and I can definitely say there is a big hookup culture in any college. I go to art school, and there is still that kind of, you know, casual atmosphere. But like, I don't want you to think that it's only that, because I have seen a lot of people that met in college and, like, totally fell in love and, like, got married down the line, and, like, you know, anything can happen. So, but I wouldn't go into college thinking that you're gonna, like, find the love of your life. I would go into college and, like, follow your dreams and pursue what you're interested in, and then, you know, if someone who also happens to be interested in those things comes along, then it works out for the best. But just, like, don't let yourself get distracted by trying to find boys. Like, that's not what college is about. Like, the boys will come later in life. You need to be focusing on your studies, and don't let boys distract you. Mom rant over. Okay, so parties. This is another one I can't really talk about that much just because my school really doesn't have a lot of parties. I think it's just because everyone's so busy, or maybe I'm just a loser and I don't get invited to them, which is honestly kind of likely. But for me, it's, like, mostly house parties. Like, my friends will have 5 or 10 people over, and we'll all just kind of chill, and it's not, like, a big party scene. Also, another thing about my school is that we don't have fraternities or sororities, so that's also probably why there's not a big party scene at my school. So yeah, that's really all I can say. But I do have some advice because I do go to school in the city, and on the few occasions that I have gone out to parties, I do have to walk a lot of the time or take an Uber, and I think it's always super important to travel in packs of your female gal pals or whatever it is. And definitely always carry mace on you if you're going to be walking around late at night, or just like pay for an Uber. Like it's so much more worth it to pay $5 than to get like abducted or kidnapped or mugged or anything like that happens in the city. So just be safe when traveling about. Schoolwork. So like the schoolwork in college, this isn't a good video for me to do because I go to a weird school. So I haven't really like had to study in maybe a year, which is sounding weird because I'm halfway through college. But my school is all about art and like learning techniques and like improving my craft essentially. And a lot of it is actually learning. I'm really into like Adobe, like Photoshop, and like the whole Creative Cloud is what I learned, but that's not really something you can even study for. Everything here is just kind of like a learned skill rather than memorizing test answers. The only classes I've ever had to study for is art history, and that's really it. But with that being said, I don't want it to come across as like my school is super easy, because it is not. It is like, I went into this thinking I could handle it, thinking like, oh, art school, like that'll be so fun, it'll be so easy. But it is not easy. Like when I tell you, this semester I actually had to take a break because I was just like, my mental health was going down so fast, and like I was just in a really not good place by the end of last semester because of the stress levels of my school. It's very competitive, and I'm actually in trimesters, so all of my classes are smushed, and just the amount of like the workload compared to like the amount of hours in the day is near impossible. And like if you go look at any reviews of SCAD or anything like that, like that's a pretty common complaint, is that just like the workload is a lot, especially in fashion design and interior design. I'm sure other majors too, but my best friend is in interior design, and then I'm in fashion, so I can speak to those ones. But it is a lot of work, and that's just my school. I don't know about like normal college, you know? I'm sure it's harder there too. So I think one of the most important things that can help you with dealing with this new workload is time management. It's something like so important, and self-discipline. Like that was the biggest lesson I learned my freshman year, because I'm normally not very, like, I just kind of go with the flow. I'm like, oh, well, if I have homework, like, I'll do a little here or there, and, like, my schedule has always been very loose. But my freshman year of college, like, the first semester, I was just so lost, and I was so all over the place, and not managing my time well at all. Like, I would go to the laundry room and sit in there and wait for my laundry to be done for an hour and a half, and then go and study, when I could have just brought my stuff with me in the laundry room to study and then gone home and go to sleep. Like, you start to think about like how to use your time more efficiently in college, and I think it's really important that you do that and like plan your day and stick to a pretty strict schedule. Like for me, I really did my best and thrived the most and just felt like the most put together when I would go through and plan out my day, like from class to class, and what I was going to do in between them, and like when I was going to go eat dinner, and just had like a really sturdy schedule. That's what really helped me manage my stress. And then as well as like that, and in doing that, you also give yourself more wiggle room for the weekends, which is what I really liked. So Monday through Thursday, which is, my school is 4 days a week, so Monday through Thursday, I wouldn't hang out with my friends unless it was like to quickly go to dinner down in the dining hall. But I really wouldn't hang out with anyone during the week, and I'd grind out like all my work and be really efficient and try to get everything done for the weekend, or mostly done, so I could have at least some free time on the weekends, because free time is really important to me because I do YouTube, so I wanted to work on that. And then I also just have a lot of stuff that I like to do. Like, I don't always want to be doing homework. I don't think anyone does. So definitely helps with that. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend. And then my last piece of advice is to take pictures. Take like so many pictures, because I wish that I took more my freshman and my sophomore year, because now I'm halfway through, which is crazy. It's going by so much faster. Like college goes by 20 times faster than high school. But these really are like some of the most fun times of your life. And if you're sitting there and you're doing your homework and your friends invite you out and you're like, oh, but I have a test tomorrow, like, just try not to be too hard on yourself. Like, if you've been studying all week, you definitely deserve a reward, and you should go out with your friends and you should have fun, because a lot of the time, like, I don't ever once remember looking back and being like, oh, I wish I studied harder for that test, but I do look back and wish that I had hung out with my friends more, took more pictures, or just really like enjoyed the experience more. So you just have to find that healthy balance, and that's something I'm honestly still working on, but you know, I have the next 2 years to figure it out. And honestly, yeah, college is just a crazy learning experience, but you know, we all go through it and we all get it done, and we all are going to be successful business people of the future. And then just one more thing I have to mention down below, I'm going to have a link to a blog post that will have like all the things that I think people should have when going off to school. So it's just like a packing list for your freshman year, kinda, a little guide, a little what to bring and whatnot. So that'll be linked down below. And other than that, I think that's all I have to say. If you guys have any questions about college, for sure, like, ask me in the comments down below. I always reply to all my comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this or have any other videos you want to see, then definitely comment those down below as well, and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.